Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters and brothers. This is Suleiman Raheem here. Let's slay some demons. Brothers and sisters, this is this presentation is to get to the heart of the matter. As I said, as we get closer and closer, I'll speak more openly and go into more detail. Part of the reason is because telling you, I'm telling them. Do not be any under illusion that we're not being monitored. I could tell you a lot of things, like I said, I spent years and years IT, so I know a few things. And again, as I caution you, trust no one, especially new friends. Trust no one. No one. Trust no one, especially on social media. I'm not asking you to trust me. Trust your wisdom. No, rather, trust your logic. See? Study. Prove it. If you can't prove it, put it to the side until it can be proven. If the things I'm telling you cannot be proven, you need to ignore them. That's not to say they're not correct, but if they are not proven, then why would you act on something that's not proven? As for me, what I do, if I can't prove it, I don't reject it. I look into it until I can either prove it or disprove it, but I don't act on it until I can prove it. I'll consider it. Once I can prove it, then I act upon it. Until then, I'll look into it to determine whether it's correct or incorrect. You don't just reject things out of hand. You either prove it or disprove it. That's how you learn. So I'm not asking anyone to accept anything I said on face value. That's why I put the information out there for you to look at it yourself and discern whether it's correct or not. You don't hear me saying, oh, just because I said it, that's the way it is. Just believe in me. Well, I let the Farrakhan and Silas and Seventh Angel, all those people. They can't prove anything. See? They're supposed to shit out their ass and say, okay, this is honey. And you're supposed to accept it. It doesn't matter. Speaking, they say it's honey. It's honey. So I'm not asking you to accept anything. I'm asking you, I present anything I speak to you about, I present the evidence. Well, you can go and check yourself. Or I give you my reference. So in that respect, well, before I go into the actual presentation, I want to spend a couple of seconds, a few minutes, on so-called this election. Now, the 2016 election, I called that one. I called it for Trump. And the reason I called it for Trump, that was months before he was the election, because it was very simple. You didn't need the engine for that one. You understand the nature of pressure. In a time of change, people are against the status quo. And everyone can tell, everyone should understand, we're in a time of change. That's why most people are dissatisfied. This is a time of change. Everything is changing. Remember Mr. Obama, the change that you could believe in? Well, he was a bullshit artist, but anyway. We're in a time of change. In a time of change, the status quo is in target. Because that's what your status quo means, no change. That means keeping things as it is. So at time of change, the person that you're going to glom onto, the person that you're going to get behind is the person that's talking about change. You want change, legitimate change. Change. You just don't want things to be the same. So therefore, the majority of the people on America was looking for change. And Hillary was not representing change. She was representing the status quo. She never understood what hit her. That was the problem there. That was the problem. See? So that's why I called it for Trump, and I was correct. Because I said this, the emergent, you have the emergent, right? They're against the status quo. The emergent, that's changed by definition, because that's the emergent. You come in into, right? And we the emergent. See? But you also have a group, Europeans in America, they are emergent also. They want change, but the point is, let me put it this way. You have destructive and constructive change. Europeans are going to destructive change. But with the pressure so great, you have to change. You're dissatisfied because the pressure so great. So you try to reorganize. Now, one or two things can happen. You can reorganize to a constructive reorganization, right? That you, from coal to diamond, or a destructive reorganization from coal to dust. It's still a real change. You got to change because the pressure is saying something's got to happen. I can't stay in this state anymore. And so that's what change is going to do for them, but for us, right? That's how change is going to be realized for them. But for us, change is going to be realized into, right? Change into a diamond. Either way, it's still change. See? And Hillary was representing no change, status quo. So she was bound to fail. And Biden is representing the same thing. You see, he's got a lot of things against him. Now, I could be wrong on this, right? This is my analysis, right? Not from a scripture. Now, from a scripture point of view, right? He would be the last president. He could still lose the election and be the last president. How does that happen? Because this war's going to break out this month. I'm 100% confident in that. So the war breaks out this month. Right. So how long does America last until it's over? See? So he could still lose the election because he's going to be the war president. He's going to be the president that sees destruction of America. I don't think it's going to be that way. I think he's going to win the election. See? But like I said, still, it doesn't change the fact he's still going to be the last president if he loses. Because he's still there to almost end of January. So that's what, November, December, 3 months. See? America will be, I'm explaining, this war in the Middle East is a spark. That sparks the greater war. That's the sign that will hit 212 degrees Fahrenheit, the boiling point. And so now the whole world the whole world is boiling. See? Constructive for us, destructive for them. There's other issues. So I'm just pointing these things out there, right? You find that no president in the last, I guess since Gore, was that Gore? Yeah, I think it was Gore that, yeah, it was Gore, right? He's the one that picked that Jewish guy to be his vice president. See? And I said, that's not going to happen because the Southerners are never, see, that people say, oh, they don't pay attention to vice presidents. Yes, they do, because watch this. He picked the Jewish guy. Okay. Now, he was supposed to win because Bill Clinton was a very popular president. And usually if the president is popular, when he leaves office, vice president, like he can just walk in and he don't have to even take a vote. But he picked that Jewish guy, and these Southerners, and Gore was a Southerner. He lost Southern states. He lost his own state of Tennessee. Because those rednecks were not going to vote for that Jewish guy, take a chance he could be president. And he never, war never understood what hit him. So they went with a Southerner. They went with Bush, baby Bush. See, see, which he's about 3 degrees IQ above Biden. So we want him. Okay, let's go forward. Now, who came after him? I think it was John McCain. See, every time they pick an oddball, everyone that's picked an oddball vice president failed. John McCain was very popular. He went against Obama. Now, how in the world, he was a war hero and everything. How was he going to lose against a Negro, an African? See, how was he going to lose against him? But he did. What? He chose a woman. This country don't want a woman president. They won't say it. They don't want a woman president. They don't want it. That's what killed him. He never knew what hit him. I called that one too. In fact, I even lost a contract because I was on a job. And I told him, I said, man, they ain't going to, I should have kept him. Because you actually, I have a great appreciation for demons now than I did before. See, because I would just talk to black people. And I would say, man, they ain't going to vote for him. See? They ain't going to vote for him because he's got a Jewish vice president running mate. And they went to go, hey man, that guy's talking against Jews and stuff. And that's I know the guy told me. I mean, I just told the guy from I said, look, okay, I've been on a contract for about 3 months. I asked him, I said, okay, you like my work in there? Like the work I'm doing everything. I said, you want to extend this right for another year and everything? Because I want to make sure we locked in because I don't want to go in and lease apartment. I was up in DC at the time, lease an apartment and everything, right? And then something happens and I'm stuck, leasing all kind of stuff. Oh man, that was the day before. I made that statement. Next day, shake my head, man, we don't need you anymore. After I made a commitment already. Because I know those Negroes been told. Man, he don't like white people, whatever. Don't like Jews. That's not what I said. I was just pointing that fact out. Anyway, he went down the tubes. Right? Okay. So that was McCain. He picked a woman. You had McCord. So what was the other one? Well, we already got Hillary, but she had picked an oddball roommate too. She picked a guy that he was weak. You could see she picked somebody real weak that she thought she could handle. And she picked somebody that maybe was strong and more, because this guy was like a Rudy Gazooty. And now you got Biden. He picks a woman, not just any woman. A woman claims she's black. I'm not sure where she is, right? But I know her mother, they say explain now her mother is Indian. They claim her father's Jamaican, so I don't know if he's Jamaican white, Jamaican black, Jamaican Indian, because a lot of Indians, they grew up in Jamaica. So he could be Indian too. So they say he's Jamaican, so she claims she's black, but her mother is not black, her mother is Indian. And now that she's Brahmin. And if you don't understand what Brahmin is, right, India has a caste system, and I explained that each nation has somebody they got to take their frustration, their psychopathic, sociopathic tendencies on, right? So in India, if they don't have somebody outside to do it too, they do it to people on the outside. So they're racist against their own people. If the darker you are, the more racist they are against you. If you dark, they got Indians darker than me, and they call untouchables. In fact, I would be untouchable. I was there. Means, hey, stay away from them, and you can't go out you can't marry outside your caste system. I don't know if you remember, some of you remember, about 10 years ago, whatever, these two girl and boy got together, and they was out from different castes. Their own parents on both sides burned them up. Break that caste system. And so, if a Brahmin is the highest, see, and if an untouchable see a Brahmin coming, he gets out the way. Well, they kill him. And nobody can say a damn thing about it. All these countries, right, they have that. So she's other Brahmins. And that might explain why she was putting all those black folks in jail for nothing in California. Now she was all black now, you see. So he's got a woman on there. They don't want that. See, Obama had sense enough to pick a mainstream white guy. See, they pick, so I'm saying, you go back and look at these things, you see they fail every time. Because they do look at the vice president. And in the case of Biden, everybody knows, first of all, he's missing a whole lot upstairs, a whole lot. But he's in the basement somewhere, right? And they know either he's going to die and she's going to run it, or he's just going to sit there, she's run anyway. Because he ain't going to step against her. So he would remember. So I'm just saying that. So some of these things you can just rationalize. You see. Some things just rationalize. So the thing is that you had to think about status quo. And think about that. Right? And when in the time of change, see, that's what that thing about Bliss all about. He didn't want to change. That's how you know who he is. He didn't want to change. He said, no, I'm not going to change. Because the angel was told to submit to that. And he said, I'm not going to do it. He wants status quo, he wants things. He said, I made me a fire. He's in power. He wants to stay in power. And that's who is resisting Adam at every turn. That's the Shia. Now, not the Shia, the Sunni. It's resisting every turn. It's technology, everything. Well, now they adapt some of it now. But they resist everything, the so-called ISIS and all that kind of stuff. They are, right? They are the jinn. Anyway, I thought that pointed out. See? But as far as black folks are concerned, see, the Democratic Party, I call it Democratic because that's who's running it. Demons and devils are running it. See? But and you understand, if you understand anything about, see, the demons, they're going to vote for them. Half of black folks in America are demons. They're going to vote for them, no doubt. See? But they got other ones, they kind of go along with some of it, they in prison somewhere. And the idea is that the Democratic Party keeps black folks dependent. That's why I say jobs and everything overseas. I mean, there's a strategy behind it. The ultimate agenda is to get rid of us. But the other thing is they keep you dependent because they know black folks or original black people are closer to conservative or are conservative. They are conservative people, you see. And so they're closer to the Republican Party than to the Democratic Party, you see. So they know if the Democrats let black folks have any wealth, they bring those jobs back and everything, black folks start getting more self-sufficient, right? They're going to turn to Islam, they turn to Elijah Muhammad, they're going to turn away from Democrats because they're naturally opposed to most all the policies that Democrats have. I don't know if you are familiar with that propositions, whatever, in California a few years back, when they wanted to legalize or gay marriage or whatever, and it failed because the blacks voted it down and the gays got LGBT, whatever community got. Boy, they went ballistic on that. I mean, why y'all want to do that, man? It's like civil rights. You know, nothing to do with civil rights. Don't piggyback on us. See? They got mad about it. They went to work to do something about it too. You see? Because you won't find too much of that in Africa. And Obama went over there. Oh, there's a whole story about that guy, right? You got people out there swearing, right, on oaths. They had homosexual relationships with him. I mean, I got the videos. I don't want to get bothered with that because I don't want to get into all that, right? But he had a lot for them and didn't have anything for you, and you can't deny that. See? But he went over to Africa and tried to tell them that they weren't getting more aid unless they accept LGBT, rights and all that kind of stuff. They ran his ass out of there. They don't play that stuff over there. See? Okay, brothers and sisters. enough said about so-called politics. Like I said, I don't get into politics. I don't waste my time with that nonsense. Unless you want to stay here, then stay here and vote. Have at it. I don't tell you what to do one way or the other. Okay, let's get into the presentation, brothers and sisters. Give me a second here. Okay, brothers and sisters, the title is God Kill. God Kill. What does that mean? God Kill. Wow, God Kill. What do you make of that? Well, we're going to go through a little history here, brothers and sisters, because you need to really understand, you have to have a thorough knowledge of yourself. Now, for those of you who don't know, we write history every 25,000 years, 25,000 years. That's how long it takes the Earth to complete a cycle. We could write longer than that, but that's no story. We talk to mathematics and science some other time. So we're going back 50,000 years, 50,000 years ago. That's how Elijah Muhammad goes back to Dr. Shabazz having a conference with all the other tribes, right? All original people at that time. Everybody was dark. We call ourselves black, but we're really gold. But we go with the black. We're the gold people. We're gold complexion. That real dark, real black, dark person you see, that's Jakub, that's Dr. Shabazz stuff. He made us like that. He made us really dark. I don't say anything wrong with it. Some of the sisters were there. All the sisters are beautiful. I ain't gonna say some of them. But some of us real man, whoa. Night, like midnight, whoa, boy, I seen some of them, boy, I see some beauty, flawless, that's some beauty, man, that's out of this world. And these sisters, I'm telling you, there's no more, the most beautiful look. The word beauty, the whole idea of it came from the idea of the original woman. She's mathematics expression of beauty. See, I'm saying she I express because we're equals. But she's the mathematical expression, essence of beauty. That's what she represents. She's a manifestation of it. See, let me dwell on that for a minute before we actually move into this. The man and woman are equal. I can't say it enough. The man and female are equal. The original being was a being that was, it was only one being. He had the capabilities of both. That's why males have breasts they don't need. You have them. Why you have them? Because there was one being at one time. Had both functions. The function of the male and the female was in one being. Originally, the Quran tells you that we came from one being. Right? How do we produce ourselves? We produce ourselves. See? But we have, the marks are there. We have the breasts, we don't need them. They was functioning one time, way back in the beginning, when there was no gender. And I'm gonna really go into that one day, maybe. Well, I will one day, but not now because we got so many things to talk about. So we separate ourselves, and and we can go in that process one day, but not now, because what I'm talking about right now is a whole different subject. So everything balances. So the male and female, say the balance is 12. So in other words, The male may be 8 plus 4, and the female may be 7 plus 5. Still 12. It's different but equal. So, was one superior? No. It's the time, it's how you look at the situation. When the Quran's talking about, okay, put it like this. If you're walking through a jungle, you and you know, man and woman, you walk through a jungle. Wild beasts and everything, right? You got your spear and your shield and all that kind of stuff, right? You Watusi walking through the jungle, bam, bam, you walking hard, right? So you're the female, are you going to listen to the male and obey him in that situation? Because that situation speaks more to his ability of being strength, being a warrior, to take care of lions or whatever, snakes, whatever you run into. So if he tells you, if you're a wise woman, you're going to listen to him because you're in his environment that speaks to his nature, his capabilities. That's what it means, because we're in a time of trouble. So this time speaks more to the male's capabilities, right? Because wars and all that kind of things will tell a woman to submit to him because he don't need you fighting with him. And then he got to fight the enemy too. So that makes sense. A wise woman say, okay, I'm going to get behind him and give him support in it because he's going to get into the battle. He's got to protect us. You understand? That don't mean he's superior. That means he's in a situation where it speaks to his capabilities. You see? On the other hand, if you're in a situation, right, where it requires cunning, you know, no BS, no bullshit. Like if I'm a general and I'm in a war with vicious enemy, then I know that we got ain't no BS going on. You know who my advisor want? Women. Because they cut through all the bullshit. See? Then we're, well, is it fair? Should we give a warning? You understand? How many prisoners we take? No. When a female gets after your ass, first she's cunning because she's more focused than we are. I'll talk about that in a second. She's more focused than we are. Some of you probably found out by now. So there's still a line between love and hate. Check that lyrics out. She's more focused. And when she gets mad, she goes your ass. She don't worry about all this morality stuff. Well, man, is it fair? No. Cut that nigga's heart out. Cut that devil's heart out. Stuff up his ass and feed him to pigs. That's where she's coming from. See? So this, she's coming from. She ain't take no prisoners. Well, brother, hey man, well, I don't know, man. We want to treat him like that, man. I mean, maybe they'll be okay after we take him down. Maybe there's somebody join with us. No, she said, let's end this. See, so she'll be my advisor because I'll be sitting around, man. I don't know, man. You want to kill them all? You want to drop a atomic bomb on their ass? Maybe, drop it. Drop 3 of them on their ass. That's where she's coming from. So I want her as my advisor. So if you're in that situation, then listen to her. You understand what I'm saying? So it depends on the situation you're in. Because we each have a capability. So if you're in a capability that speaks to her nature, then you want to listen to her. If she's in a situation, your nature, you want to listen to that. You're in a situation that's advantages your nature, then you want her to listen to you. The wise person would understand that. But see, in the hereafter, we won't have a situation like that. See, a lot of things we deal with, that's why the books are for their time. The Quran was for a time, this time. In the Quran, you won't get a book like that. There'll be no book like that. Because you won't have a situation where you walk through the jungle and you got to deal with wild animals. And you won't have a situation where you have to defend her anymore. Because there'll be nothing that bothering her. So she won't be a degree below you because she won't be in a situation where it requires her to listen to you if she wants to survive. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you got to be careful with these books. Because if you listen to Sunnis, we should be oppressing women. They should be, look, I don't want a slave. I want a partner. I don't want no woman. If that Michael, that's why I got blow up dolls and stuff for. You know where I'm coming from. I want a partner, not a slave. You see? And a real man, that's with a partner. These punks out here, they want slaves. Somebody's going, oh, baby, and and do everything, and they sit around eating popcorn with their feet on top of the table, and she's doing her work, going to work from everything else, right? Then he beating the ass when he gets frustrated. You understand that? That's why it's so important that we understand the purpose of these books. Understand how they work. So the Quran will speak for a particular time. That situation will not exist in the hereafter. So you won't hear any scripture saying a woman's degree below a man. Because I'm already telling you that right now. I'm talking from the angel. That's the book on. I'm telling you right now, that stuff is, you don't find that in the angel. See? Because it's taking us into the hereafter. So understand that, brothers and sisters. See? We're equal. 8 plus 4 is equal to 5 plus 7. Different, but equal. See? Women will be total, both of us be equal. Freedom, justice, equality for all. But women will speak to their strength, and men will speak to their strength. But a lot of things, the whole vocabulary would change. Like pain, for instance. That would be a concept that would be eliminated. We don't even think that stuff is really, pain is one that made it. Look, pain is something everybody's familiar with here. It's a big deal. It's a big part of our consciousness. We're afraid of it, worried about it. But hereafter, there will be no pain. The concept of it won't even exist. I mean, one will have pain in childbirth. There won't be any concept of pain. Nobody will get sick. No cancer. I mean, we won't even think about it. Nobody talk about it. You won't hear the word anymore. Things change. Situations change. We're in a situation right now, energy deprivation. We won't even sleep in the hereafter. The idea, sleep. When you're sick, why you sleep? Is he sick? Like, if you sleep, must be dead. Because, concept, that was something that we didn't have before. So that leads me right into the main subject here. We go back 50,000 years. Right? At that time, there was no religion. If you study the lesson, there was no such thing as religion back then. Because reality, do cows and lions and zebras have religion? And they do very fine. So they smarter than us. There was no such thing as religion. It was our way of life. There's no such thing as a concept of God. No such thing. And that's why I want to get to the heart of that. There was no such thing. There was no concept of that. See, it was one family. One original family made of several tribes. Some say 12 tribes. The angel says 12 tribes, whatever. But it was one original family made of several tribes. Original people. All dark. We look more like you would think, more like the Ethiopians or Somali. Dark with, curly hair, but not nappy. You see. That's where we were. All across the globe. Just go for 12 tribes. Right? Okay. But we saw was coming to it. We know how the universe works. We know what's coming to this period of energy deprivation. And so these are the tribes got together. Some call them scientists. They got together to discuss what to do about it. Everybody had their opinions. Nobody came with conjecture. They came with mathematics, and everybody had different solutions for the problem. See? Everybody was trying to find what's the best way to minimize the problem. You see? No one thought about doing what happened to us. So Dr. Shabazz said, okay, he put that on the table. Nobody wanted that part. Nobody wanted to do that. Everybody, hey man, whew, we're going to feed ourselves to that beast. They knew Dr. Yakub was coming because they already decided that's the way they want to deal with an aspect. They said it's better to have a bad nation than no nation, so everybody was agreed on that part, right? But then what to do, because they figured that's the best mathematics. That was pretty simple. Should we allow Dr. Yakub to do his thing? Should we allow a nation to be or not? So everyone agreed that, yeah, okay, we'll go ahead. So nobody stopped that. Nobody stopped that. But what we do about it, once we agree on that. So Dr. Shabbat says, well, I'll sacrifice my tribe. See, he let him chew on us, that psychopath and that sociopath, right? Exercise his sadistic nature on us. That'll take and offset, right? His impact on you. But I only do that if you agree that at the end of this period is over, right? That we will settle on the best part of planet Earth. We'll do that if that was a condition. But we'll do it. But that's what we want if we do that. So we save your asses, right? But this is what you got to agree to. They agreed. And that's where it comes from. They agreed. Dr. Shabazz is Abraham. You see. So then he went and took us down into Central Africa, because Arabia is Northern Africa. Took us down, was basically, Egypt or further down on the west coast of it, which is probably modern day Morocco along the area, right? And then he started preparing us to be chewed up for 400 years, knowing that we're going to get this reward. And these were other tribes, and they was honorable men. See? No lies, no thieves, anything back then. Honorable men. At that time when they made the agreement, maybe they may have full intentions on fulfilling it. But then something happened. Because 15,000 years later, right? There's 50,000 years in the past, right? 15,000 years later, 35,000 years ago, somebody said, hey, man, maybe one tribe, maybe all of them, I don't know the details. Says, hey, wait, hold it. I don't think this was a good move. We're not going to keep on with this. We're not going to follow through with this. See, we ain't gonna get us up to them for going through 400 years, and now they're gonna be the chief tribe forever. That don't sound like a good agreement to me. But they're gonna be the top tribe forever and the best part of planet Earth, because that's the bottom line. But once they get, that's theirs, and we won't give it up. So that's what the substance is. That's what the core of what we're going to talk about. See, because the whole idea what's going on here is this idea of God. See, there wasn't any concept before of God, who was all one tribe, the original nation. 12 tribes, right? And we was creators. Everybody knew we was creators. We put everything out there. Everybody knew that. See? So Buddhism come on the scene. What was the bottom line behind Buddhism? The idea of God. See, because they separate the creation from the creator. They separate the creation from the creator. Think about that. They separate, because before that, there was one. The creation and the creator, one thing. We was a creator, that's your creation. Came from us, it is us. You might say we're the consciousness of the creation, but it's one thing. And so There's no concept of God because we were the creators. So we don't walk and you the creator because everybody knew we were part of the creation. Right? That we all participate in the creation, all the tribes. So the idea, now you got the idea of God, because now you separate the creator from the creation. So now you got these people here and they worshiping a creator, not themselves anymore. See, first there wasn't any worship before. There wasn't any religion, there wasn't any worship. But now you're admiring something above yourself that you're saying did the creation and you are part of the creation that was created. Understand that. Understand what's going on there. Because once they did that, right, that's the beginning of the mystery God. So you reduce to a creature in the creation. And this thing, right, created you. And you don't know what it is. See? What was the target? The target was us. Because by doing that, right, that means we wouldn't be the supreme being. It's something that above us, so we are something here that's part of creation. I don't know if I'm really getting the point through with this one. See, that's the first attack on us. You see, that's the first attack. See, so now we created beings. We're not self-created. We're not the gods. There's something out there, and we just part of the creation. Because the attack was going after us. They were our first enemy. It's Buddhism 35,000 years ago. That's the first. See, so it's 4 phases. They got it right. So actually, that's what I meant. The title is phase 4. Okay, so that's phase 1. You see, because we don't own the earth anymore. So how can we own the best part of earth if we don't own earth at all? That's up to, see, neutralizing the contract. Excuse me, bro, so someone's at the door. apologies, brothers and sisters. So I hate doing these during the day because I do have distractions. That's phase one. Because if we are not, if there's some God that does all this and we're just part of creation, then we don't own this earth. So therefore, that's nullifies the contract, doesn't it? They can't give away something they don't own. See, because of that, before that, maker, owner, creator of planet Earth, God, universe. Now we're not the maker, owner anymore. So it ain't us or anyone else, right? The right to give it away or make it a contract. You understand what's going on here? It's first attack, phase one. See? Now, if you go back, that's 35,000 years ago. Because if you go back to Africa, like during the Egyptians, they didn't have a religion. They believed it was the gods. They believed it was the gods. Pharaoh said he was the god. They believed it was the gods. Yeah, that's not the Egypt that's in the Bible. They didn't have a religion, even as far back as that. See? So Buddhism hasn't conquered the whole planet. But it was moving. It got control of India, Hinduism. It got into the Middle East, so-called Middle East. We had the stories about they was in idolatry, fell into idolatry. See? So it's spreading. We see the so-called Native Americans, right? It spread over to the side of the planet. They was thrown out because they was, right, worshiping sticks and stones and carrying on. See? So there was something else other than, because we God, who are you going to worship if you're the God? So that's saying you got to be careful of these books because that's aliens. We can worship anything. I mean, the concept wasn't even there. Like praying, that concept wasn't even there. Because you just tune in, you want to talk to somebody like have an iPhone, you just call them. See? The prayers like, before they had phones, right? People wrote letters. You don't have to write letters anymore. You want to write if you want to, but you just call a person. So you write a letter, hope we get to them. You see? So those concepts weren't even there. So everybody had an idea how to deal with the situation. And I'm cutting corners here. I'm not going to all the, dot every I and cross every T. I'm just giving you the basic idea of what's going on. So that's phase one. What's phase two? Phase two was Sunnism. Sunnism is not what the Prophet taught. And a fair reading of the Quran would tell you what they believe in is inconsistent with what the Quran is saying. Now they have Hadith, but Hadith is the Prophet's opinions of what the book that was revealed to him. His opinions, his understanding of it. See, it's not the Quran. It would be in the Quran. His opinions of it. That's important. So, because why did the Prophet say 72 out of 73 of his ummah sects will be held bound? These generations would know him and he would know them because they're not following his teachings. Just like these scriptees ain't following Elijah Muhammad's teachings either. They claim they are, if they was, they would recognize me. So, if you understand the Quran, they said, well, there's only one God. And Allah has said, well, who is the we? Who is this we? You see, they don't understand. So I'm not going into details about that. That was phase 2. See, because this gets more focused. Because remember, the whole idea is we ain't going to fulfill this contract, and this is coming out of the same region, Buddhism. Because the angel tell us that the house of Sod, this is not even Arabs, the Indians. You see, from India. That's another story we'll talk about here. But the thing is that God's same region. For the people that's occupying, see, well, let me back up. Buddhism came out of that same region, what we call modern day India, Arabia, the whole region. See, from there all the way through Ethiopia. You get a hint of that in the book of Esther, because it says, Pharaoh's father, they call him Euphrates, I can't pronounce that correctly. Euphrates, that's given the name of Esther, right? That's Darius, right? He's Pharaoh, he's the one who takes down Babylon, right? So his father was the king of all the way from Ethiopia all the way up to was not India. So it covered the whole region. See, Buddhism covered that whole region. That's why Abraham had that problem with them, with idols and all that stuff. You see, it covered the whole region at one time. See. Okay. So now it's more focus. It's for focus right where? On the land, our land that we're supposed to get, that we're supposed to inherit. The agreement was made. Now these nations still, they know about these things. They haven't got them. You know, India's been around for a long time. As far as they know, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 years. They don't know how far back it goes. They still have those records. They ain't burn them up. Arabia goes back a long time too. They ain't burn. They don't have no record. They have no documentation or anything that says that they burned all that information up in the past. You still see the Mecca there. You still see the holy sites. And they back not far. Who knows how far they go back? Some say 4,000. Some more. So as soon as what's their message? The same message. There's some God out there that they can't identify, can't prove, and we're just creation. And there's a creator. See, they separate the creator from the creation. Right? So, and the creator, this creator said that they can have land. You see, this creator they invented. Just pull out their asshole cloth, invent it. See, no proof it exists. Don't know what it is. Never seen it. It could be anything. It could be 8 far as they know. Have no idea where it is. Never see it. Never can't talk to it. Even the prophet said he didn't get the revelation from his God. He got it from an angel, Gabriel. So they don't know. It could have been demon, anything. They don't know where they got it from. They have no idea. Just believe that's from this. That's what they're telling us. And believe me, some of those scholars know better because they know the ancient history. So the same idea. The separation, disconnect between God and the creation. That's phase 2. You see? That's phase 2. You see? Now we're still down in mid Africa, Central Africa, south of Egypt, or in that area. Morocco, on the west coast. You see? They knew who we were. Remember, why would Dr. Shabazz make this agreement with if everybody forget who we were? He knew history, he could look down history. All the scientists knew what was going on. He's a chief. Why would he make an agreement? It's going to take 50,000 years to fulfill if he had no idea how that was going to happen. And 50,000 years from, That's a long time. So you have to have a thorough knowledge that this is going to happen and how it's going to turn out. So that's phase two. The disconnect, the sever that idea, because that's at the root of all of this. I told you, everything that's happening in the world today, this whole reality is around the Abrahamic covenant. And I'm going to real detail of it. I've been going to more detail about the sociopath and the psychopath and the sociopath and the psychopath. I'm trying to get deeper and deeper and deeper to understand what's going on here. You need to understand what's going on here. Because the more you understand what's going on here, the more you can recognize these people around you. Come open your eyes so you can see clearly what's going on around you. Because it's going to get so dark so fast. It's going to get so dark you won't see a hand in front of your face. One light you're going to have is the light angel. It's a bright, piercing light. And you'll be able to see clearly. But everybody else will be total triple darkness. See? And they'll come and ask you, remember, read about 10 virgins. See? When time says, hey, the master is here, then they had a light. The other one's light had went out. See? What did it mean that light went out? Because they was walking on the light of Elijah. They was walking on the light of Prophet Muhammad. And that light went out because that time has passed. Read the scripture. Their light had went out. What do you think? There's a lampstand and the lamps just went out? Their lights had went out. In the time they most needed, their lights had went out. And we see it right now because they're in the dark right here. None of them saw any of this coming. What's going on right now? None of them saw it coming. And still, even now, they still don't have understanding what's going on. They can't tell you anything. Their lights went out. Read about the 10 virgins. The 5, their lights went out because it was out of time. And the only ones who had the light was the 5 that were smart, and they picked up the angel. See? They trimmed their lights and they walked in. Now one came and said, can you give me some of your light? I said, no, hell no, I can't give you none of my light. Because hell, this dark is out here. My light might not be strong enough. They were kind of concerned. That's how dark it was. That maybe the angel might not be bright enough. It is. But they were a little concerned, but it was, right? So they had a little doubt. But they said, that's why I'm not giving you any of mine. Well, I'm going to put it another way. They knew that they had enough light, but they gave them some of their light, and they might not have enough. Let me correct myself on that one. See, because they said, I can't share my light with you. Because I might not have enough if I do that. Because they knew they had enough. They might not have enough. They gave some of it away. That's another story altogether. But the other people's light went out. See? Mr. Black Man, it was a bright light, but now it's out. It's going out. Crime, bright, but now it's going out because it's out of time. Understand that concept. So, now, we have, I said it was phase 2, and, phase 2, and they made that disconnect. See? So that's 1,400 years ago. That's phase 2. See? So, but what about us? See, we was Muslims down in Africa. We were still following the Islam that Prophet Muhammad taught. Not that crap they're talking about, the disconnect. See? Because at war. See, we never followed that Buddhism. So remember, they was at war. That was the concept that they was using to try. They was at war with us back then. Because they didn't want to, 35,000 years ago, they said, hey, we don't want to fill that contract. So they went to war with us, right? Mentally. That's the essence of it. Because you get right to the essence. To annul that contract in our minds. See? Disconnect. See? Because now you got this God, nobody, but he control everything. That means we're having control. So we can't agree to, they don't have to agree to covenant. They can't enforce a covenant that, we don't control. We don't control this land. How you going to make a covenant from a land that it's not yours? It's belongs to this creator that nobody's seen or heard. See, at least in Buddhism, they gave a picture or something. See, But then at phase two, that's the Sunnis. But then we were in Africa, we were Muslim, see? But we wasn't believing that stuff about this mystery God and all that stuff. Wasn't believing in that, right? But we was a target of that idea. 1,400 years ago, we was a target of the idea. We was a target of that idea. See? So I'm not getting into all this about Mamelukes and all that kind of stuff. We was a target of the idea. So then, 500 years ago, they betrayed us. See, they couldn't, they couldn't, what they call it, proselytize that idea out of our minds, convince us that Sunnism is the right way, that's the right idea, right light. See, because they knew we was Isaac. They knew we were still holding that agreement. We hadn't went into the part we made the sacrifice yet. See? But they know the agreement was made. See? So they betrayed us. See? That's how it's. I'm just leave it like that because we get too far afoot here. So they betrayed us. Remember, things don't happen because they prophesized. Things are prophesized because they saw they was going to happen. Don't get it twisted. See? Just like telling the weather. Just because the weatherman doesn't make the weather happen. He reports based on all the knowledge that he can gather that he can predict there will be a storm or a hurricane or whatever. The same thing. See? So the nature, we're supposed to sacrifice, not exactly, well, let me leave it like that. So the point is that they took and betrayed us. Made sure we got away from that land. That's what the prophecy is all about. Remember, this book was written after that. Now, this book was written before that, but after 50,000 years, this book was written about 16,000 years ago. The Angel. And was locked down tight. Because why you have to lock these books down tight? Because if they understood, and they could change history too. Remember, if you know what's going to happen, you know somebody's going to be here on a certain date, right? And meet you, you could change all that, right? Just don't be there yourself. Anyway, so that's why I was locked down tight until the end. So is Daniel. Okay. So they betrayed us. Okay. Now we come to phase 3. See? So we got the Buddhists started this whole thing off. The Sunnis with phase 2, to disconnect us. So they came with the idea. See, the Buddhists came, we didn't buy into that. Sunnis came, we didn't buy into that. So they sold us into slavery, right? So it can be forced on us. That's phase 3. Because they couldn't force on us either. So they captured, and they took, as Elijah Muhammad said, they put male and female in a cage. They had children, nature. And when they took the children away from them, children had no idea of their parents, never saw their parents, never saw only black people they ever saw was other children like themselves that was black, and the person that was over them was white. And so when he told them they was animals, they had no frame of reference, so they had to accept it because they different from everybody else. And you see animals that are black, apes and carrying on. You might have a couple of apes and monkeys running around there. Incidentally, if you cut the hair off a monkey, ape, he's white. His hair is black. And they get away with that. And some of us let them get away with it. Anyway, that's phase 3. See, and what's the disconnect there? Christianity. See, this is where it really gets intriguing here. total disconnect now, because now you don't have a frame of reference, and then they tell you, right, that you're nothing. You're not even a person. See, before you're still a person, you just wasn't accepting this woo God around. But now you're not even a person, and you have no frame of reference, so you have to accept what you're told. So now they give you a God, and and then you're not even a human. So you totally disconnected. You test gate on 3 degrees. You totally disconnected now, because you're not even human. See? And so the person that's controlling you, right? They're human, right? But they're servants of this God they tell you about. They give you a picture of this God. It looks exactly like them. So they're the gods now. And you get it? You understand what's going on? So now you worshiping them. They got what they wanted. That's phase 3. They got what they wanted. Because now you have no rights to anything. You're not not only, I mean, you worse than you, because you can have rights to anything. You don't have the rights to even being alive, because you just an animal. You just an animal. And if they allowed you to pray, right? Then if you prayed, right? You prayed to what you was praying to was the God that was enslaving you, that oppressing you. So you pray into him, right, to stop oppressing you, stand your oppressor, to stop oppressing you, whose nature is to oppress you. It's like, asking a hungry lion not to eat you. So I teach you, well, if the lion catch you, just ask him, be nice to him, pray to him that he won't eat you. That's a wasted praying it. You remember what they said? I don't know if you caught that in the civil rights thing when they said about, Martin Luther King and everything. They was beating people with dogs and stuff. They said, we don't believe your prayers go above your head. I don't know if you caught that. That's what they, because they know your prayers meant nothing. Because you was praying to nothing. And if you was praying anything at all, right, the person that you was praying to, it was worthless, because that was your oppressor. Please, that lion, stop eating me. Hope you understand, brothers. That's phase 3. So it has totally disconnected. So in other words, or let's put it another way. Here you the Hulk. And you can kick anybody's ass on the planet. I mean, you can just, whoa, you the Hulk, right? And then they convince you, right, that you can't use your power unless you get permission. And the person that you got permission from is the one that's kicking your ass, that wants to get rid of you. He ain't gonna never get that permission. So therefore you get your ass kicked. Why? And when you can stop it, but you don't, because you ask permission, you gotta ask permission for the one who's doing it. And he ain't had no intention on stopping. That's what's happening right now. Because if once you disconnect between God and the creation, and you are the God of the creation, then you don't stand up and take charge of the creation, because you think that the person that's oppressing you, right, they are the gods of the creation. So something's wrong with you. You're the created being. Something's wrong with you. And you have the power to stop it, but you don't use it, because you have to pray to this person to allow you to use it. He's never going to allow you to use it, because you use it against him. Do you understand, brothers and sisters, what's going on here? They got your mind locked up. Like I said, if you run your enemy's software, then you're your own enemy. They made you your own enemy. Because you got the power to stop this, and you don't, because you don't understand that you have the power to stop it, that you are the creator, that all the power they say that this mystery God has, you have. But you give it to them, right? Because you ask them permission to use it. And they never want to give permission to use it. They got you. If they can separate the creation from the creation in your mind, because the point is, you understand? The only way they can destroy you, they got to destroy the creation. They know they can't do that. So they got to separate you from the creation. Because if they go against you and you resist in a unified way, they can't because they have to destroy the whole creation because you are the creation. But in your mind, they separate the creation from the creator. That's the whole thing behind Christianity. And Sunnism and Buddhism, that started with Buddhism. Sunnism took it to phase 2. Christianity took it to phase 3. Then we get to the demon-possessed man. When he broke his chains, Elijah Muhammad came, bam, right? He blew up phase 3. He made the connection for those that listen, and the Levites. See, he broke that cycle. Knocked phase 3 down, at least for them. See, that was phase 3. It tells you that demon-possessed man in the book of Mark. That's the best one because it's more detailed, right? But then comes phase 4. See, because he got past phase 3. He got past phase 1. Phase 3 is supposed to finish them off. Phase 3 is supposed to finish one. That's why he was dead. So Elijah had to raise from the dead, right? And Lazarus is still dead. It's still tingling, but still dead. Because it's still lost where? In phase 3. Our people are still in phase 3. See, the Levites went to phase 4. Our people are still in phase 3. See, Elijah Muhammad raised the Levites to phase, right, to above phase 3. So they got out of it, they overcame phase 3. Our people still lost, Lazarus still lost in phase 3. But Levites was raised above phase 3. So they had to come in phase 4. So we got 2 situations now. We got phase 3 going and phase 4 going. Phase 3 is Lazarus still dealing with phase 3. Right? The disconnect, Christianity. Praying the master for, do this for me, do that for me. See? When he got strong enough to get rid of master and the whole thing, because he is the creation. He's more powerful than the Levites says. Because he is the essence of the creation. Levites, they're part of the creation, but they're, but we're the essence. We're the chief tribe. We're the tribe of Shabazz. They're not the tribe of Shabazz. They're another tribe grafted in. Right? When you read the Injil, right? Was that chapter 6, chapter 7, right? The 2 tribes that were sealed, tribe of Judah, that's the tribe of Shabazz. So what's phase 4? See? They had to get to them. That's legion. That's the demons, right? That looks like us, talk us. That's a demon. That's phase 4. That's Farrakhan and his boys. Because what are they doing? They take you away from Elijah Muhammad. You make it on the creator planet, God, universe. You can't tell me not taking you away from that because everything he said, he tell you, you don't control anything. You don't control your children. You don't control where you was born. You don't control how long you live. You understand? You can't wake yourself up in the morning, right? You're not responsible for your children. Some mystery God made you in the womb, right? You're not responsible for your talents. Some mystery God gave you talents. Now tell me, if that's not what he's saying, tell me. I can show it. I can bring it up every Sunday. They say the same damn thing. We're not responsible for a damn thing. See, it's just mystery God. They say, well, God's a man. See, that's how they hook you. That's the hook. When anybody's fished before, you have to have the right bait, right, to catch the fish. That's to get you in it. Once you get in, how the hell, if God's a man, like they say, right? Then how is he making everybody, all these babies? There must be animals too, right? He's making all these babies in the womb. So he has sex with every woman on the planet? And why is he the wheel? Just stop waking people up in the morning. You see? Mixed messages is just bad as bad messages. Maybe worse in some respect. See? So that's phase 4. Because he's despising the covenant. He's telling you, he's not the land, remember all these things about the land agreement. He said, we don't get that land. We don't even want it. Why do you want that land for? Take it away from them. Well, what about this land over here? If you take it over here, you take it from the Indians, ain't you? Ain't you taking it from the Indians? No, we don't want to take it from there. I'm taking the brothers over there. Our brothers. And the book tell you they didn't want to start this stuff. Remember, they took us into phase 2. It was phase 2. And led us into phase 3. They ain't our brothers. They were. They see Abraham, but they betrayed us. All the nations are against us. I'm not going into all detail about that. I've said over and over again. The brother, he was talking a while ago. He talked about it. He gave good information on it. I'm trying to get you to understand the essence of what's going on. The whole idea is the break between God, right, the creator and the created, the creation and the creator. Once they make that break, right, then you're not the creator anymore. Something else. And if you're the creator, you have power to do everything that you see out there. You're a little weak now because you suffer energy deprivation, but you're waking up from it. And they see you waking up from it. They're trying to make everything they can to make sure they can knock your ass out before you get up out of that bed. They see you stirring, let's burn his ass up. They say what the thing says, let's make them like shit. Let names be remembered no more. Think they're just talking? So we got phase 4, that's Farrakhan's people. They get the idea, the disconnect. And they drag you back to phase 3. See, if they can't destroy you in phase 4, they want to drag you back to phase 3, back to Sunnism. They got you in a masjids, saying prayers with your enemy. The Israelites are your enemy. Scriptures tell you they're your enemy. They didn't want to sell you into slavery. Don't care about you. Ask them, who are you? Tell them you see the Abraham and see what they tell you. They might smile at your face, but see if they believe that. See if they're going to accept that. They tell, the Bible's corrupt. So I'm going to bring this to a close, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to get you up. I'm trying to get you to really understand what's going on here. These people are for real. They're not bullshitting around. And right now, after all they've done to us, you think, okay, tell me, if you was kicking somebody around and beating their ass and all that kind of stuff, right? You had an employee, you was beating his ass and everything else, just all kind of trouble, just abusing him. Would you want him to become your supervisor? What kind of person become your supervisor? They want us to take charge of the earth. After all they've done to all these nations, and you think we're going to just sit back and say, hey, okay, it's okay. That story in Joseph, where he forgave his brothers, you think that's what's going to happen? I'm telling you right now. You read chapter 6, where it says, the day of their wrath has come. I ain't forgetting a damn thing. I ain't forgetting nothing. Because an example has to be made. You see, because they reneged on us. And so somebody's ass going to have to pay. Somebody's going to have to pay for this and pay and pay and pay. So they understand they don't effort us ever again. They make an agreement, better keep it. Because we kept our part of the agreement. So they're going to be like, hey, oh, Brother Ishmael, we understand. F that. You're going to pay. So I talk to them like I talk to them. Because I know what's going on. See? They're phase 3. And if phase 4 fails, death. That's what I have planned for you. And people say, if you're paying attention, see, a lot of stuff you hear in the news. See? All this conflict with China, nobody's talking about. All of a sudden, they nationalize the National Guard all over the place. They got an excuse to do it. Why is it? Remember I told you they planning. They already planning and already got things planned to get the military and everything to come in and move in on you. Now all of a sudden they got nationalizing the National Guard, activating the National Guard all over the country, and the pretense that because this election is played, says it come as a snare. They're not bullshitting, brothers and sisters, and I'm not either. But you don't have anything to worry about. You brothers and sisters waking up. You have nothing to worry about. Do not fret. Do not be discouraged. Because fraud is on the case doing this thing, and I'm here doing my thing, and I know a lot more than you think I know, and they're not going to pull it off. Now, these brothers and sisters out here, some of them are going to get caught up. Remember the 10 virgins again? But Lazarus is going to be raised. When it said the final trump, what it said? Read it. It said that final trump will be raised, right? See? How it said will be raised, forget the word they use, right? Incorruptible. Incorruptible. So all these Negroes, I hear talking about these brothers and sisters, especially on these sisters, these sisters, this. We're going to see what you have to say, you understand, when this war breaks out and we take charge. And we're going to let them sisters loose on your ass that you've been pointing the finger at. You're supposed to be defending, but you're out there criticizing. And so, oh, God, can a poor prostitute be a good wife? Leave these sisters alone. I don't care about these demon women. But our people, leave these sisters alone. If you know it's good for you, then leave them alone. You better get yourself together. See? Because if our women are acting inordinate, as you say, you know whose fault that is? It's the devil's fault. You know whose fault second is? It's yours if you're out there criticizing them. Because we drugged them in here with us. Or we wouldn't survive. It's our duty to protect them. See? It's their duty to give us children. I'm saying everything balances. So in exchange for them giving us children, we protect them. But they be giving us children, we ain't been protecting them. So we've been failing our part. But we understood that would happen. Right? But we said, okay, sisters, we know that's the way it's going to be. You see? But we are going to put you on a pedestal. You understand? We're going to lift you up. See? To the guys that you're supposed to be. See? But no, hey man, look at them. And then the same clown is saying this, you go on his webpage and he got women with the drawers hanging off and everything else. I mean, these people are sick. Leave these sisters alone. No, I don't like seeing them in the condition they are. But I don't like seeing us in the condition we are. And if your family's messed up, who you look at? You look at the daddy. They're in a condition. We're all in a bad condition. But we had the responsibility to take care of them. And I'm not knocking brothers and sisters not do that because we submitted. That was part of the problem. So that means that once we get back on our throne, because see, I'm here to give you the light and the knowledge. For God's here to give you back your throne and your land. See? And both of us will be successful. The angel has been unsealed. And for us, going to go to war to take possession of your land. Okay? And these sisters, I don't care what these sisters out here doing. If they're original women, you understand? They'll be put on a pedestal, as the choir said, right? Everything will be reversed, be like virgins again. Nothing will be remembered. I don't care what they're doing out there. See, it starts on the devil. And the angel makes that very clear. Blessed those who keep their garments. If you don't understand the angel, you understand what that means. All this is on the devils. They made them like that. We didn't make them like that. The devils made us like that, made them and us like that. And we have no point pointing the finger at each other. Do you see me pointing the finger at any of you out there getting high on stuff you're doing? I'm not pointing the finger at any of you. I mean, well, if I start pointing fingers, yeah, I start pointing fingers at myself because I've been there too. Think I was born in heaven and shit didn't touch me. I've been everything that could happen to me did happen to me. I've suffered everything that you could think of, right? I ain't smoked crack and that kind of stuff. I was in marijuana and stuff when I was in Vietnam. Judge not that ye be not judged. Leave these sisters alone. Leave these brothers alone too. You out this pointing the finger. Who in the hell are you pointing the finger? I didn't say something to you at all because you out here doing this stuff, pointing the finger at other people, at us. You out here hurting our people. I'm going to speak on that. You're not getting a pass on that if you're hurting our people. You're not getting a pass on that from me. Okay, brother and sister, I hope you understand. Assalamu alaikum.